Members of the public and members of this House, including myself, were shocked when the member for Chilliwack North brought an organization to this building actively promoting that, quote, homosexuality is immoral and morally wrong. That's from ARPA's own executive director, from their own material that they brought to the legislature. They also believe that, quote, homosexuality and transgenderism are disordered. They are an organization that wants to end the federal ban on the documented harmful and sinister practice of conversion therapy. And they are actively lobbying MLAs in this building to restrict abortion access for women. I find it astounding, shocking, and hurtful that these issues are being brought back into this building by the opposition and are even a matter of debate.
I was raised Christian. I recognize the many positive contributions of Christianity that has bettered the fabric of our province. But I draw the line when religion is used as a shield for hatred. I will call out hatred every single time, and this is one of those times. ARPA has said, and I quote, as a Christian advocacy organization that adheres to the truths we believe are found in God's Word, it is not inconsistent then for us to state that we believe homosexuality is immoral. They also say, and I quote, ARPA believes homosexuality and transgenderism are disordered. Honourable Speaker, there is nothing disordered about being gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender, or queer. What is disordered is believing that some British Columbians are less worthy of dignity and respect because of who they are or who they love. That is not faith, that is prejudice. And prejudice, when cloaked in religious language, does not become righteous. It remains harmful, it remains hateful, and it has no place in the values of our province. This is why this motion is so important. It is not an attack on faith or on anyone's personal beliefs. It is a stand against hatred and discrimination masquerading as religion.
When groups such as ARPA speak in opposition to human rights and basic health care, it can have immensely negative impacts on trans and non-binary youth and their families, and we can't have that happen. Effectively, it compounds the prejudice, the stigma, discrimination, and violence they already face. We must recognize the very real human harm caused by beliefs such as the ones perpetrated by ARPA that reinforce stigma and fuel discrimination. When an organization denies the humanity of others, it crosses a line and becomes a matter of public safety and public harm. A compassionate society cannot remain silent while harmful rhetoric seeks to erase the reality of others. These views are outdated, dangerous, and do not uplift or unite us. They only divide us.
I met a young woman who told me she was out with her girlfriend for a night out on the town, of course minding her own business, and she got yelled at and intimidated by a group of people on the street. Why? Because she was holding her partner's hand. That meant that their safety was at risk. That was heartbreaking to hear, but sadly, stories like this happen all the time. For some reason, some people just can't let others live the way that they want. And that's who ARPA is, and the people who support them are. They're the harassers in that story.
I want to be very clear with this House, abortion is health care, and that all health care decisions, it is for a pregnant person in consultation with medical professions to make. That's where the decision gets made. It is most certainly not a decision that lobby groups nor members of this House should be anywhere near.
In our government, we believe in lifting people up, strengthening everybody's ability to have a life of their choosing. Our government is not open to suggestions by those who advocate repression of specific groups of people.
People who work in this building, the British Columbians and tourists who come to see this space, people conducting meetings and business, all have the right to go about their day without encountering people espousing hate. Our work is to create the conditions where people are safe, free from discrimination and hatred, where people can fully participate in our society.
When a political caucus invites such a group into the heart of our government, not as private citizens, but as influencers in a public forum, it sends a concerning message and elevates voices that aim to erode the equality and protections guaranteed under the law. In a democracy like ours, the Hall of Honor isn't a private clubhouse. It's a symbol of representation for every citizen. But every British Columbian, regardless of faith, orientation, sex, gender, or background, deserves respect and true representation. And that means rejecting invitations that platform harm. Because when we don't, we weaken the fabric of our society.
We do have to condemn the people that show up here that have hateful views, that want to practice intolerance and lobby for policy changes to stop people from making decisions for themselves. That's the crux of the issue, nothing else. I love people equally. I don't stand for any discrimination of a particular group because of their views, and especially legislating that into policy.